Sulfuryl fluoride is an acute, deadly toxin with no known antidote.
California is one of the most environmentally conscious states in the country, but it may be the biggest polluter of a problematic greenhouse gas. It's called sulfuryl fluoride, and it's used whenever a home is tented for termites. I took an in-depth look at a new study about that gas and talked to people from all parts of the industry to see what can be done to protect homes and the planet. When Harry Graff found termites in his home.
I've been in this house 25 years or so well, here we go again.
So it's all in this beam right here because I see droppings and stuff right there.
Helping the environment was the furthest thing from his mind.
Because I don't want to have to move out. The tenting kills all the plants around the house. I mean, it's just a major pain to do.
That's why he chose orange oil treatment. But new research shows it's actually a lot better for the environment than sulfuryl fluoride fumigation.
It all adds up. It all adds up.
Jens Müller with the Scripps Institution of Oceanography published a study last month, along with researchers from Johns Hopkins University, tracking the pollution caused by sulfuryl fluoride, a greenhouse gas that stays in the atmosphere for up to 40 years.
We're trying to avoid catastrophic climate change, right? And so I feel like it's always bad for a scientist to say, but I think it must be an all hands on deck effort for everyone to do the best.
For the study, researchers tested 15,000 air samples for sulfuryl fluoride. They found California alone accounts for as much as 85% of those emissions in the U.S. The highest concentrations were in L.A., Orange, and San Diego counties.
We do that the first day. We pump the gas, we shoot it. The next day we come and we start the ventilation.
Knowing this, I went to speak with a termite tenting company. Uriel Zuniga is the president of the Fume Team. He says sulfuryl fluoride is safe, legal, heavily regulated, and the best way to eliminate termites.
There's different products out there that you can use, but those are just to control the situation. That's why it's like a pest control. It's not to eliminate it.
Anna Carlin disagrees.
So it's been a real David and Goliath approach.
She's the president and CEO of X-Termite, the leading orange oil termite company in San Diego. When I talked to her about the study, she told me it's proof orange oil should become the industry standard.
They have options. They don't have to use the hybrid toxic chemicals and poisonous gases. They just don't have to.
Sulfuryl fluoride was not part of the Paris Climate Agreement in 2015 or the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. The new study suggests that California add it to the list of monitored greenhouse gas emissions. The California Air Resources Board already rejected that idea in 2022, responding to this petition by saying only a change to the state's health and safety code could do that. Müller and Carlin think it's time for the legislature to act.
We have been seeing this coming now for quite some time, and I think that this study really helps move that forward.
You know, there's always the excuse it's too expensive, we can't do it, but at the end of the day, we oftentimes do find solutions which work for everyone.
Now that could put Zuniga's business at risk. He thinks the industry will adjust and only use full home tenting in the most extreme infestations.
So it's going to be some changes, of course, but it's going to be for the best.
Now, the type of termite that we have in California is part of the problem. It's called a drywood termite, and it can establish a colony without having any contact with soil. So unlike other termites, they don't leave the home. That leads to bigger infestations. Zuniga says that's why California has a greater need for sulfuryl fluoride.
A Kern County man was found dead in the backyard of an LA home yesterday after reportedly entering the home while it was being fumigated for termites. Police received the call shortly after 6 o'clock from fumigators who showed up to remove the fumigation tent. Fumigators say they found the body of the dead man on the home's back porch. His name has not been released, and authorities said he was not a resident there. Investigators said the condition of the body suggests he died recently.
A sight all too familiar for Californians, tents over homes or businesses to get rid of termites.
While getting rid of them could be one problem, we could be creating a much bigger problem for the environment. NBC7's Brooke Martell has more on the study showing chemicals used in the process oftentimes are hurting the fight for a cleaner atmosphere.
It's called sulfuryl fluoride. It's commonly used in homes and buildings to treat for termites. But now scientists say the highest concentration of this gas is found right here in Southern California.
It's typical to see homes and buildings draped in striped tents in California. It's a sign of pest and termite fumigation. A recent study found that the sulfuryl fluoride that isn't absorbed by fumigated properties likely finds its way into the atmosphere and has been doing so for years.
We were also a little bit surprised that we saw literally all or most of the emissions in California. I think it has probably to do with the kind of termites that we have here.
60 to 85% of the emissions are concentrated over LA, Orange, and San Diego counties, mostly from fumigation. Jens Mueller, a geochemist with Scripps Institution of Oceanography, collaborated with researchers from Johns Hopkins University for the study. The scientists took thousands of air samples over several years, incorporating wind speeds and direction to determine where the gas was coming from. But Mueller says these findings present another question.
Now, do you need to worry about it? I mean, in a sense, SO2F2 or sulfuryl fluoride is a minor contributor to global warming. But it's an example of, it's not included in the U.S. Greenhouse gas emission inventory or in the California greenhouse gas emission inventories.
The Greenhouse Gas Inventory is an EPA report that tracks other emissions like CO2 and methane, but Mueller says sulfuryl fluoride is missing from that inventory.
Everything adds up, and there are things which are missing from the inventory.
Some exterminator companies have opted for other methods to treat pests.
Well, we use a product called orange oil, XT2000 orange oil.
Anna Carlin says her company X Termite uses the oil to treat wood infested with termites. It's different from fumigation in that it is a localized treatment.
People can stay out there in their homes while we're actually performing the treatment.
In the meantime, the California Air Resources Board says they are tracking information and research about sulfuryl fluoride, including pest control alternatives.
And at the end of the day, the only thing that really matters is that we do reduce our greenhouse gas emissions, right? And that has to be not only working on paper, but that needs to be a reality in the atmosphere.
Brooke Martell, NBC7.
On April 3rd, 2024, the LA Times published an article entitled, "Thanks to termite tents, California is top U.S. emitter of a planet-warming pesticide." At the end of the article, the LA Times touts orange oil as an alternative to climate-damaging fumigants in the treatment of termites.
Chris, thanks. Now to breaking news. A woman was found dead in a local home. That house had been tented for fumigation work.
Crews made the gruesome discovery today inside a home on 38th Street in West Palm Beach. That's where Whitney Burbank joins us live. Whitney?
Todd, Tiffany, crime scene investigators pulled a body out of this home here just about 30 minutes ago. Now, West Palm Beach police say this is the body of a woman who was found by people, as you said, fumigating this home on 38th Street. Police say the house was tented on Tuesday, and when workers came back to take the tent off this morning, they found a woman dead inside this home. Now, I spoke to the homeowner off camera. She says that the house was being fumigated for termites on Tuesday. She just came back today and found police at her home. Still a lot more to come in this investigation. For now, we're live in West Palm Beach. Whitney Burbank, WPBF 25 News.
Sulfuryl fluoride is an acute, deadly toxin with no known antidote.